You're listening to Eat, Play, Sex with Dr. Kat, the place to up-level that sexy life of yours, with expert talk on sex, love, and nutrition.
Meeting new people and interacting and teaching them things and learning from them. And also, I'm a sensual being. I like touch. And if somebody is invited to touch me in a way that I appreciate it, like give me a shoulder massage. Yeah, do it and do it right. And we can both enjoy this because of course that happened every night that I worked.
So there's a really claiming of your own pleasure and permission to allow yourself to enjoy and to be in pleasure, where, you know, in society, there's so many messages that can make us anxious around pleasure, or we doubt ourselves, or we say, oh, I don't deserve pleasure. I can't have this type of pleasure, or sexual pleasure is dangerous. How did you make that shift, or how did you or what would you say to people out there who might be in that mindset?
What I thought of right away while you were speaking is being in the club and enjoying or receiving pleasure from the clientele touching me or just interacting with them. And, oh, it's a business transaction or something like that, and I'm just working and I shouldn't enjoy that. And there was a struggle for me getting to that place where I thought it was okay, where I actually received and allowed and said, okay, this feels good and I'm okay with this and I'm asking for this. And I think that can translate into life outside of the club. We experience pleasure because we're meant to experience pleasure. There's no reason why we shouldn't be receiving pleasure from everything and anything that we can. That's the joy of living in a human body. I don't know anyone who'd say, I don't want to feel good.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
So for me, any opportunity that I have to increase or deepen the level of pleasure that I'm experiencing in this lifetime, yes, hell yes.
Give me more pleasure.
Yes, please.
Yes, please. Do you have any tips for anyone, women or men or non-gender identifying people who are interested in starting to strip for their partner or create, give them, I don't know, a mind-blowing lap dance?
I do have a course.
You have a course that teaches this.
It's a very short, digestible, easy, it's a 10-minute course, an online course, where I offer a lap dance, which I'm calling a tantric lap dance. And then I walk through everything I did in slow motion and narrate. So,
wow.
There's the course. And then also just turn on some sexy music and put on some sexy clothes and really just get into your body. Feel yourself, touch yourself, and really enjoy it and find where the pleasure is and go into that place.
Yeah, and breathe, right?
And breathe.
Oh my God, I remember the first time that I gave a partner a lap dance. I was so nervous and I was like, in my head, but he really, really wanted it. And so I picked out this song and I don't even remember what it was, but it was something probably really cheesy. And before I went in, I just dropped into my breath and just relaxed my belly and just started breathing and dropped my head back and allowed my head to roll. And instantly I was in the mindset of what I was about to do. It was like almost instantaneous, but I think it was getting past that visceral clenching of my body, that was like, I can't do this. I'm not going to do this, and then just like you said, dropping in.
Beautiful articulation. I love that. Okay, my next course, we're teaching it together.
Perfect. Sex, love, yoga, and the pure way. Teaching you how to give tantric lap dances. You heard it here first. Here's the teaser. Yeah. All right. And, there's So as we've been talking about the, shifting this image and what your personal experience has been, I wonder if there's one myth that you would like to bust about sex work for those out there.
I think that simply it's something we mentioned, that women who are in sex work are not empowered, and that they're traumatized or they have daddy issues. Everyone's heard that one. I think that so many women in the sex industry, strippers specifically, many that I met are super empowered women. They are badass women.
Yeah, I love that. Well, thank you for changing our minds and expanding our viewpoints on this ancient practice, this ancient profession for everyone. I also have questions from our listeners. So if for those of you who've been following me on Instagram at Sex Love Yoga, I take followers' questions and put them to my guest experts for them to answer for you, because this is your show. I want to keep it your show. And turning to that, first question is, how do you protect your energy, and how do you deal with invasive energy that's put towards you?
I love this question because I speak about it a lot. It's something that I was actually speaking about just a few days ago with my stepson, and not specifically in the strip club, but he knows all of that. 18. And he said, I keep meeting these people that are just, I have these issues with them or whatever. And I said, you're magnetizing to you whatever you're putting off. So it goes for the strip club too, being in the strip club, grounding myself and really like calibrating my own energy and being in alignment with myself doesn't allow anything to come in that isn't in alignment. It's very rare now. Maybe in the beginning there was a lot of that before I really knew how to ground myself. But now just tuning into myself and staying disciplined with my own practices outside of the club doesn't allow for that to come in.
So your practices of yoga and your practices of, you said combo and stuff like that.
Yeah, and honestly, just being healthy.
Being healthy, yeah.
And feeling really clear and good and taking care of my body.
Yeah, so self-care helps you to create that boundary between you and another person. Yeah. Okay, second question. How does being a sex worker impact your dating and relationship life? Ooh.
So good. I was married basically the entire time that I was an exotic dancer. I started when I was 22, and I met my husband when I was 22 as well, much later in that year. And we just separated last year. So basically the entire time. And now I have a new partner who is just so incredibly supportive of everything and sexually liberated and open, and they exist.
So was your first relationship supportive of the sex work that you did?
We went through waves, but I'd have to say that he was supportive in the way that he was my greatest teacher and my greatest coach, and taught me so many things about the industry and the business, and really how to make it a business and how to uphold myself in that environment. So I have to say, yes, he was super supportive in that way. There were waves where it was like, wow, you're dressing up all sexy and going out and seducing men, and then you come home and you want to like cuddle with me and watch a movie in your PJs. He's like, can I get a show? So there was a little bit of that.
Sure. Yeah. So finding that balance of how can I be both of these at, at home, which actually that makes me think, how do you integrate that sexual part of you in outside of that world? Is it difficult to bring that back home then, or?
I feel like I'm always in that space. Like I can turn on in a second, and I love being in that erotic, seductive energy. And my stripper self, Ava,
Oh,
Her,
Ava.
her
Yeah.
name was Ava, and Ava can exist anywhere. It doesn't just need to be in the strip club. And the more that I integrated that piece of myself and really claimed that me working in the club was my feminine empowerment, the easier it was to, me is me inside and me outside of the club.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. So you're not separating those two personas. Yeah.
There was a time. There's been a lot of work.
I can imagine. Yeah. Yeah, it really lends to the work that you've done for yourself to, you really show it in the way that you present yourself, you hold yourself, you speak about yourself. And it's very inspiring.
Lovers, thank you again for tuning in. If you enjoyed the show, hit subscribe and head over to eatplaysex.com to connect with me and grab my sexy guides. Because my goal here is to get you to eat, play, and sex better so you can improve your sex life, which will improve every aspect of your life. Until next time, keep it sexy.